shine on Happy Camper Life. We're loving, living, and learning online on Happy Camper Life.
Hey everybody, welcome to my camp. I'm Courtney, the host of this really fun podcast called My Camp. Thank you for joining me live today. I'm in the HC now, which in our camp lingo, HC stands for Head Counselor's Cabin. So you're joining me live in the HC. Now, for those of you that know camp, and if you know, you know, we live 10 for 2, which means we live for the 10 months of the year, for the 2 months of camp, you know, keep our eye on the prize. So I'm really excited because I know my guest today, Bethany Wright, definitely lives 10 for 2. She spends 10 months out of the year. She's works in the school system in Canada with kids with disabilities. So thank you so much for being here. And when she's the other 2 months of the year, she's working at Camp Walden in Canada as well. So Bethany, you have such an amazing story, your camp story that just goes beyond, oh, you work at the camp for 2 months out of the year. So I want you to please, well, first of all, welcome to my camp.
Thank you.
And so right away, tell me your camp story. Like you have a nice, good history. Go.
Yeah, so I am just go back to winter 2012. I am in England and I am just didn't want to have another summer of sorry you didn't get that job because you're going back to university. Sorry, this, that, and the other.
You needed a summer job. You were
yeah.
and I didn't add this. You're English, so you're not American. Your journey starts on the other side of the Atlantic.
It does. And I was just Googling jobs abroad. And summer camp was the one that really clicked for me. So I there and then did an application, went to a jobs fair and got hired on the spot. And that was like my golden ticket. And my first summer was actually at a specialist camp, IGC in the States. And I loved it, loved the experience. It was amazing. But I was just hankering for something more because it was a specialist camp. I was like, well, this isn't what I've seen on TV. This is not like the traditional summer camp experience. So I wanted to do it again, but in a slightly different way. So I applied through a different agency called Camp Canada and got placed at an amazing camp called Camp Walden, like you said, in Ontario, here in Canada. And I've been returning ever since. So this summer will be my 9th summer at Camp Walden, which is exciting.
Totally incredible. So when you were young, I just want to go back to your origin story. So you were 20, did you have a friend that was like, hey, Bethany, I got this really great idea. Let's go to America and spend the summer at a sleepaway camp. So on your own, you totally did that. That's really brave. So can you how do you go how do you go about getting a job in the States when you live overseas? I mean, I know there's lots of visa rules. It's not that easy, correct?
No, it's not simple. Okay. However, there are amazing camp agencies out there that's what they do for a living. They get international staff members like myself placed at summer camps all across the world. So I applied to an agency called CCUSA, so Camp Counselors USA. And basically I filled out an application. I told them my skill set. I told them everything about me, my personality, what I was interested in, why I wanted to do it. And they were like, okay, amazing. Sounds great. Come along to one of our jobs fairs where camp directors are flying from the States to England to interview you. And I was like, amazing. If I can get hired on the spot, perfect. So I went along and I was one of the lucky ones that got hired on the spot. And yeah, that's when my journey began.
Wow. Were you nervous? Were you scared?
Oh my goodness. I was so nervous. I was this 20-year-old that was just like, I'm just going to go on a train to a different city to be in a huge conference hall where 40 plus camps have set up their booths kind of like an exhibit, and you go around and you don't know, the people around you could be people that you're like living with and working with all summer long. So you don't, like, you're excited and you're trying to be friendly and you've got this smile on your face, but you're like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? This is so overwhelming. But it is a great experience, and it is that hands-on experience that even from starting the application at that jobs fair, that like pushes you through that whole camp experience.
Because I know one of the draws or the appeals for international students to come over and work at a camp in the States is that after camp, as far as their visa, they get to travel, and they go on, at camp, they meet their travel friends and they plan their trip, and then they're traveling for a month after. And I feel like I'm an American and these kids are well better traveled than I am. So, I mean, hats off to you, to every international that takes that leap of faith and gets on that plane and comes over. So you've been at your camp for 8 years, but this journey really has led you also, like, you have an amazing blog, Brit in the Six. I've been reading it. We're following you on Instagram now, and it's full of information, because you realized quickly that there is such a need for information out there for these international counselors that are coming over. So how did you get that started? Tell me more about your blog.
Like, especially when I did the switch over to the Canadian camp, majority of the staff were graduating campers that have become staff. So they know all the little nuances of camp. They, like, that part of the staff training was kind of lacking for somebody like me that's like fresh off the plane and into this new camp bubble. And you're like, comics, what is that? And it's like, oh, it's the name of this age group, like 9 to 11-year-olds, because all the cabins are named after comic book characters. And like, to them, it's second nature. But to me, coming in as a 21-year-old, I'm like, what does these abbreviations mean? What does this mean? And so learning all that and going through it year after year, seeing other people go through what I went through, I was like, there's a real need to share that. And like, for instance, the summer doesn't start for international staff when schools finish and you go to camp like the week after. The summer planning starts the winter before, because we have to apply for visas, medical checks, book our flights, plan this whole trip to even get to the camp gates. So my blog is really just to relieve that stress, share knowledge, and just like get people to realize that you're not alone in this journey.
If someone was interested now in coming to camp for the summer of 2022, do they still have time, or is that like ship sailed, the windows closed?
You still have time. There are camps still looking for places, but the cutoff point is normally the end of March, beginning of April time. So there is still time, which is amazing. And it's just a perfect time to come to camp, because we're all tired really of looking at the same four walls and tired of our vacations and everything that goes under the life that we now lead. So it's an amazing time to be outside, to get away from technology and to just be around human connection. Yeah.
In your blog, you talk about like the culture shock of arriving at camp. So when you first arrived, and we'll just talk about like your experiences maybe at Camp Walden, since that's your summer home, but like coming into a new country, a new culture, camp, your English, what was like your biggest like eye-opening culture shock moment at camp?
Good one. So I think the biggest thing for me was just the living situation, because like I say, I'm from England. We don't have summer camps because our summer holidays are only 6 weeks. So camp's not really a thing. And being in a wooden cabin with washrooms in a different building. I know, yeah. So our houses are in a different building. So toilet, sink, shower in a different building. Very close, but still you have to really plan out you're everything.
You've got to go to the bathroom really bad in the middle of the night
Oh,
to have to make that walk, right?
100%. So just the whole living situation. And it's like, I was very lucky in the fact that Camp Walden provides international staff members with bedding. So I didn't have to add that into my luggage because of everything. And so, but it was like, it's not my own bedding. And then you see like staff members that are from Canada, from Toronto and Montreal, that like have their big full bedding that they have and all their clothes and all of everything and all of their things that they realized over the years that, yeah, we need this for camp. Like a lint roller for your bed to pick up that camp dirt that gets everywhere. Like
that's a good one. I don't know that one, but I'm gonna have to share that with my campers. A lint roller.
100%.
Smart.
Yeah, or baby wipes next to your bed to wipe your feet before you get in, so it's nice and fresh. Like
right.
little nuances that like they know because they've been here for 10,
right.
15 years. And I'm just there with my one suitcase, 23 kilos worth of stuff.
Which
and
I have no idea how much that is in
50 pounds worth of luggage.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's like that for me was the biggest hurdle to get over. And it hits you straight away because the minute you get on that camp property, it's like, here's your cabin. And our camp, again, beautiful, but it's big. There's like over 50 cabins in the camp. And the people that I met in the city that were also in my shoes of being international I wasn't living with, and they weren't in my cabin. The people in my cabin were graduated campers that have been here for 10 plus years. So my living environment, my personal space, I felt, oh my goodness, this is totally different. And it was just, it was a big hurdle to get over. And I have to say they were amazing. Everybody at the camp, the staff, everybody were amazing to help me get over that hurdle. But yeah, it was eye-opening for sure.
But I mean, 8 years later, you're still there. So what was that like? And I know you said you were at a different camp for the first year. So what was that moment like when you were like, all right, this is for me. Like, I like this and I'm going to do this again. And maybe for 8 years.
Yeah. So I actually, because the camp, I graduated that summer. So the camp also does a program called the Walden Leadership Center, where they open up the property for June and September and open it up for school groups, for team building, for weddings, events, conferences, you name it, they do it. And I didn't have a job to go back to. And I was like, they were like looking for staff. And I was like, 100%, I'll do that. For sure, if I can stretch out this camp dream further, I'll do it. And that was the moment that I fell in love with camp. I was like, oh my goodness, I want to come back here. I like went home, got a real job, and honestly, and hated it, absolutely hated it. And in April, the following year, I like emailed camp again and was like, is there any positions? I will do anything. And they were like, of course, for sure. Here's a job and come back. And I was like, okay. And that was it. Like, that was my turning point in the fact that I fell in love with it in the September, tried the real job, but
right.
Tried the job back in the city. And in my heart, I knew that like, I need to go back. So that's what I did. And I've been returning ever since.
I feel you. Okay. I feel you. I know exactly. So, so what are so now that you've been at Camp Walden for 8 years, your summer home. So what are some of your favorite traditions? And the camp was started in how long has it been?
1970. Yeah. Okay.
1970. So what are some of your favorite traditions at camp?
Good one. So one of my favorite traditions is we do something called the burning of the W, and it's on the last night of camp. So all the camp walk down in darkness to, we have an outdoor amphitheater with on the lake, with a fire pit in the middle, and we have a wicker W there. Somebody with a torch canoes over from the other side of the lake, and it's all in silence. The whole camp is in silence. Comes over with a torch, and they light the W on fire. And our camp director and musical guy sing a song, a very like beautiful camp song, the camp song.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. You just said the camp song. So
Yeah.
Bethany, sing it. Sing your camp song.
No. It's called the camp song. You know, I know it, but I can't sing it because I just listen to it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I'll let it pass.
And you're like, yeah, it's one of those moments where you're fixated on the flame. And the W is a light, and everybody in the whole camp is just watching and like memorizing this moment and just being there. There's no videography, there's no camp photographer. Everybody is just in the moment. And that for me is our last night of camp as a camp. And it's just a beautiful moment. So that is up there in one of my top ones. And then on the flip side, total flip side, my other one is the Camp Olympics, and we call it the Walden Games. So we have 4 countries, and the whole camp and staff are split up into these 4 countries. Now, the gist is, if you have a sibling, you're on the same country. So, and also children of campers, alumni are on the same country. And it's teams for life. So that is your country forever.
For life.
For life.
Ooh, I like that.
Those big stakes. We do a big opening ceremonies with, again, a lot of fire.
Fire, good. We love fire.
Yeah, and we walk through a beautiful ceremony that our staff put on. And we do our opening games, we say an oath, and we do 2 whole days of competition. And we do a waterfront half day, a track and field half day, sports half day, and then we do a marathon at the end. And there's cheers and there's artwork, and it's just that end of summer hurrah that brings everybody together. And it's the camp goes in lockdown, there's no visitors, the people that are there are the camp bubble, and it's a unique time for sure.
So I know your camp, I mean, you said it's like 500 campers, so your camp is huge, and it's sessions. So you have it's 7 weeks, and you can go first, second, or all of it. So do you only have one Olympics?
Yes, so the Olympics is in the last week of camp. However, we do have an alternative for people that only come for July, and that is called Camp-Wide Program. But that theme changes every year, and it's up to a small group of staff to create a theme every year. So that one's pretty special, as it's more creative. There's a whole day program where all of the events are brand new. So kind of think like a Survivor type challenge, that sort of style. And the whole camp is split again into 4 teams, and you wear your color for the day, but the theme changes every year, and that's pretty cool also. So that's for our first month campers.
I love hearing you talk about like the burning of the W. We do something very similar at our camp on that last night, and just I can feel it and relate, because there's just also that feeling of just accomplishment, that you did it and you finished it. And as much as it's beautiful and you enjoy it and have so much fun, but like it's always one of like you just feel like you've climbed to the top of the mountain, right? And you've done it, and you're done. So it's just so many feelings, mixed emotions in that moment. So and it's just cool, because there's so many things that tie us all together as sleepaway camps, and it's timeless. As much as we move on, you can look at those, although you don't have a photographer, but if you did, I mean, for that moment, but you could look back on those photos from 1970 and they would look exactly the same as they're going to in 2022. So it's just, camp is just so amazing and wonderful. So if you could right now, because I know a lot of staff, a lot of these international kids and college students are making this decision, or for like what they should do for the summer. So what would be some advice you would give to someone who's maybe thinking about becoming a camp counselor for the summer?
I would say 100% do it. I would say if you're going to do it, jump with both feet. Jump with both feet. Because if you've got one foot in and one foot out, you're not going to get the full experience. And I say that for everybody involved. Like, I think it's an amazing thing to have on your CV, because all of the skills that can't be taught in a classroom, all those life skills that you're going to take with you throughout life, is learned at summer camp. And I truly believe that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We like to play games at camp, and I asked you to bring an item to my camp that's from your camp, and I'm going to guess it, something special, and I know you have it. Are you ready to play?
No, because I know where it is. 1 second.
You got it.
Got it.
Da na 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 na. Na 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 na. I won't sing anymore.
I'm back. I'm the worst.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Ooh, you're back. Okay, I learned that from the YMCA guys. We're gonna snap for you. All right, so I'm ready. Do you have it? Hide it. I'm gonna close my eyes and see it. I'm gonna ask a series of questions and guess it. Okay. Is it something you wear?
No.
Does it make noise?
No.
Do you use it to celebrate?
No.
Can you eat it?
No.
You can't wear it. I asked you that. Does it make noise? Is it a piece of artwork?
No. It can.
Is it a sport? Go ahead.
It can hold artwork.
Is it a picture frame?
Close.
Oh, is it I had something I was going to say. So it's not a piece of sporting equipment. That was going to be my next guess. Is it a piece of sporting equipment? It's not a picture frame. It can hold artwork. All right, girl, I'm out. What is it?
It's my little black Walden book with all of my beautifulness.
What kind of beautifulness is in the Walden book?
So it is a little moleskin with Count Walden on it, and it's just a little black book that I carry around with me for camp life, and it has post-its and life and just everything.
Where you keep your notes through the day.
Yeah,
I had a number of those this summer.
It's my savior.
I had a number of those last summer, and I misplaced them a lot. So that looks very special. A moleskin, was that a gift from your camp directors?
Yes, it was. It's a gift from a camp director of, if you have it, you must use it. So it's the perfect size to go in like a little bag, a little backpack, the front zip pocket. It's like that with my water bottle and my sunglasses, and I'm golden.
your sunscreen, and you're ready to go. I'm going to tell my camp directors about what your camp directors did. I love it. All right. So one more game for you. And this is one of my favorite games. You've been so much fun, Bethany. My God, we could probably talk about camp. Like we should schedule another call. Okay. So my favorite game is the 7-second challenge. All right. So I'm going to give you 7 seconds to recite a list of your English words that Americans would not know. English words that Americans would not know. And go.
What's the crack? Oh, you've put me on the spot. No, I can't do this.
All right, good. You know why I asked you that one specifically? Because I was reading your blog, I was doing my research, and you talked about like things you should pack, and one of them was a head torch. So I knew like it was a headlamp, but like I had to laugh to myself, like 100%. A head torch. So I thought, I'm gonna add that and make her come up with
I've got tons now you've said that. I'm like a plug.
All right, so we'll do it again. You want to do it again one more time? All right, you just had to like warm up. All right, and go. 1.
So we've got a swimming costume, we've got flip-flops, we've got a beanie, we've got a check shirt, we've got
got it. Wonderful. Good job. All right. 7 seconds to create a new word and define it. Go.
Probably plume. And it's all about the sprinkles that you put on top of life.
Oh. All right. All right. Well, actually, instead of the last one, I have a question for you. One more, because I mean, one of the parts of camp, and you mentioned it earlier, is like not knowing the lingo. Okay. So what is magic gargle?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So magic gargle is a special formula that we use in MASH, which is our medical center. And you give it to anybody with any ailment, any possible ailment, and it cures it.
Magic gargle. I'm gonna have to. This sounds like to me. I'm gonna have to get the information on that one.
And
love
it's
that
strawberry or banana.
All right. We're going to have to continue this because I'm going to find out what's the 411 on the magic gargle. But Bethany, thank you so much for coming to talk to me today, joining me in the HC. It was so awesome. I can't wait for you to have an amazing summer. So Bethany, where can our viewers find out more about Camp Walden?
So Camp Walden, Canada, type it into Google search and you'll find it there. It'll be the top one. They're also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok now, I even believe. So I know, fancy. So yeah, they are out and about and they're there for you to explore. Their website has tons of videos, tons of information, and just lots of camp fun.
And if you are thinking about going to camp and you're overseas, or even if you're in America and you want some really great information, I can't say enough great things about your blog, britinthesix.com. So much great information. And like I was, thinking earlier, and I digress, but I came to camp. I'm older as a 41-year-old with my 3 kids. And when I knew I was coming to work at a camp, I was thirsty for just information, content, what to pack, what to bring, what to expect. And had I seen your blog in 2018, I mean, even though I wasn't your target market, I thought it was great. So check out her stuff. So much great content. And you know what? Go to camp, be a counselor this summer. It might change your life. All right. If you love more podcasts, you can listen to more of My Camp where you listen to your podcast. We are on YouTube. And I'll see you back here again in the HC. I'll save us more for you. Yeah.
Take a moment to shine.